I was like, but I know that this place wasn't built from nothing. And he's like, oh, you'll see. Tomorrow, the next day, he was like, you'll see. So the next day, just like he said, we drove through all, like, behind. It was a little bit of a mission to get there because they specifically put this shit in other places. He was like, these are the people that the Arabs think aren't good enough to be around them, even though they're all Muslim. He was like, these are the working class. He's like, Hinduism ain't the only place where they have castes, unfortunately. And I was like, wow, that's real sad. And I was like, you know, it don't matter what their religion is. It don't matter to me if they're Muslim or Christian. I just saw like thousands of people living in these project-like conditions, you know, all Pakistani or Southeast Asian from somewhere. And they weren't like Arab people from the peninsula.
Right.
They were basically foreign workers that had been bussed or flown or put in a box and mailed there in order to get that done.
Right.
You know, incredibly cheap. I don't want to call it slave labor because I don't know the exact conditions, but it was damn near that because you saw how these motherfuckers were living.
Right.
And that was the other side of Dubai. You know, the side where they show you, here, these are the thousands of people that actually build this because they ain't going to build it themselves. That's the social hierarchy that still exists that helps to tell people, you know, oh my God, this is the world we live in. It gives people perspective. You know, so when my Middle Eastern friends say to me, hey, you know, this is terrible, the oppression that's happening to us. I say, yeah, what you think you niggas did to the world during the 8th century up until the 16th century? You know? North Africa wasn't all Arabs for a long time. And that's not, I'm not sitting here telling you to feel sorry or to hate yourself for that, but to give you perspective on how the world changes power.
Right.
You know? Do you think that the Umayyad Caliphate converted people to Islam by passing out pamphlets? Do you think that Africa was Christianized or Islamicized through peaceful means?
Right.
It was war and conquest. And I'm not denigrating or bringing down anybody's religion to say one or the other. And the person that can't accept that about the history of their own faith does themselves a disservice and does God a disservice. Because they're lying about the way that the world works and the way that their history is played out. So you tell them, you know what? If you don't like the way your history is, congratulations. You have the rest of eternity to change it.
Right, right.
So, I mean, at the same time, you can look at your condition. How bad is this that I'm in? All right, at least you have your religion.
Right.
Tell me what all the religions of all the black people that live in America now used to be. Because it's not what it was. It's now. It might be Baptism or Christian or Catholicism or evangelism. No. That's not what the religion of your people was.
Right.
That was taken away from you.
Right.
Your names, your culture, everything. That's all gone. At least y'all still have that. At least you have a fighting chance. We got to start from a different square than y'all. You know, so I think it helps to put that into perspective. Does it excuse the racism and the difficult situation that is being played out in the United States in terms of bias towards Middle Eastern people or Muslim people? No. But if anything, studying the history of how that was applied to other people and even by that society should give anybody who is a Middle Eastern descent or Islamic descent or anybody who's ever been oppressed to study that will say, okay, wow, now I know how to combat this because it's been done before. And it may have been done by my ancestors or other people.
Right. But knowing your history is key.
Right.
So stay away from the countryside, okay?
No, I'm
You're gonna be on vacation. You're gonna be on vacation. You're gonna get ready to go, and you're gonna say, "Damn, what was that chick's name that gave me the interview?" Yeah. She said, "Stay away from the countries."
No,
because it is.
If I go on vacation, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go somewhere. But you know what? I think I'll go to Antarctica for vacation.
Antarctica.
Me and my shorty.
You go on a cruise ship and you never get off.
No. I go to Antarctica. Really, people think that's crazy. I told them I'll go do that. They was like, "What? Antarctica?" I was like, yeah, that's how I know if I really am meant to be with her. Because if I could stay indoors in a freezing cold-ass environment for like a week where it's just you and me,
and you guys don't kill each other,
we'll do all right in life together. But if I can't take, if the second or third day is a really long day, then I know it wasn't meant to be. So that's to make it or break it.
Are we running late? Let me just ask you then, what projects do you have coming up?
Well, I have the Revolution of Immortal Technique, the documentary, which is we're gonna have the release date real soon. Okay. But we're just the production is done. You know, the editing is finished. We just have to work into the next steps of it, and then I'm working on the album called The Middle Passage, which I've been working on for a long, long time. It's been like a good 5 years of labor behind the scenes. But we've had setbacks, you know, some songs were unclearable. They had to be put on the martyr. Other songs changed over time. So it's definitely an evolving process.
Because when you talked about your, you know, eclectic, I mean, when I was listening to, is it Angels and Demons that has Aerosmith Dream On?
Yeah.
Is that it, right?
That's Green Lantern.
Wow. That's Green Lantern?
Green Lantern
wasn't you?
That, yeah.
You saw when I tweeted, people were asking questions, right?
Sure. What were the questions they asked me? They always ask me about Joe Rogan.
Could you ask him about doing Joe Rogan's podcast? Thanks. That was one of them.
Sure. I'll do Joe Rogan's podcast. I like Joe Rogan. He's a funny guy. I like his brand of comedy, too. They're very, I think, in terms of questioning the status quo, it takes a very, very talented group of comedians to be able to work politics into their routine and make it really funny and not make it overbearing. You know, there are some real pros that do it. You know, Chris Rock, Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, R.I.P. him and Lenny. I mean, just an incredible amount. They hide it with obscenity. They hide it with self-depreciation. They hide it with all the insecurities that have built up in their life, and they just release it to people. And, you know, I think Joe's a lot younger than them cats, but, you know, I think if he keeps moving in that direction, you know, I look forward to seeing him, you know, continue that legacy. So, Joe, I'll do your podcast whenever you're down.
The other one was, could you ask him if he's going to make more tracks? And the Twitter name is Low-Key Music 1. Please and thank you.
Oh,
I don't know who that is.
With Low-Key? Yeah, I don't know yet. It's not like I'm opposed to it, you know what I mean? But if I just did a song with somebody and you ask me, when am I going to do another song with them? Right. You need to ask them that. You don't need to ask me that.
Dancing with the Devil, over 9 million views.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's not bad. That's not bad, you know?
I mean, we're going over, so I don't want to go too much longer.
No.
But, yeah, 9 million. But almost, what was it, 9 million?
750,000.
You're almost, almost at 10 million.
Well, whoever's YouTube page that's on.
You don't have I was going to say, who's getting the advertisements for the clicks?
It's not mine.
That's crazy.
Hey, the fans just make their own videos. I've never actually made a video of my own. You like that, huh?
Wow.
Never.
Really?
Never made a video of my own for any music I've ever done. That's why it's such a mystery. And that's why I can conveniently walk around New York most of the time without people bothering me.
Right.
You know, it's only the hardcore diehards that'll be like, hey, you're not. No, you're not. You're not Immortal. You're in an airport in Dallas. I'm in an airport in Dallas at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Someone's like, hey, man, I ever told you look like Immortal Technique? I was like, yo, I get it all the time. I get it all the
You see, they made that a show. I get it. I hear that all the time. Did you see that?
No.
They put real celebrities into, like, they put Dr. Drew as an eye doctor in some clinic and wherever, and they're like, you look like Dr. Drew, and they're like, he's like, I get that all the time, and that's the whole premise of the show. So it's really funny that you said that. But any last shout outs?
Check me out, lightbeatrecords.com. A big shout out to all my Rebel Army brothers doing it real big. Shout out to my man Southpaw back there producing tracks for the Middle Passage. It's going to be a very powerful experience. March 15th, got the New York show, and then I believe the 18th, we're at Toad's
Place in CT.
CT, big shout out to everybody in Connecticut. Also, wear a vest when you come to Toad's Place. Because that shit is so fucking grimy. I tell you, nigga, you know, believe me, I was one of these motherfuckers that went up to CT back in the day when Bridgeport was just a fucking, it was like the wild, wild west out there. I was like, this is Connecticut? I thought it was full of rich white people. It's a fucking madhouse over here.
That's the other way. That's closer to New York.
Sad. It was really sad. Like the last time I went to Toad's Place, it was sad because there was a cop in the office and he was filling out some paperwork, and I was like, yo, what? I was like, is everything all right? Did something happen at the show? And he was like, no, it's not for this. It's for a past incident. And I was like, what happened? This was a couple of years ago. And he was like, oh, you know, we just had a shooting over here. And I was like, yeah? He was like, yeah, that makes like number 17 this summer. I was like, what? Yeah. He was like, he's like, yeah, someone just got shot in the face the other day in front of Toad's Place. And I was like, wow, yo, here's Yale University.
Right.
Prestigious,
right.
I don't give a, you know what I mean? At least Columbia University, for all their gentrification and horse shit, went to Harlem and is like, yo, can y'all niggas please stop killing motherfuckers and selling crack around here? Because I want these people to be safe. You know, you didn't do it for them, of the people of Harlem. Let's not get it twisted. You did it for your own people. Right. But I think Yale just, I don't know what it is. Do y'all just not give a fuck about the people? Is that it? Or you don't care? Because there are 17 shootings of young people of color in the vicinity of your university, and it's just like people there asleep at the wheel. Yeah, they don't care.
You know what it is New Haven is not the largest city in Connecticut. You know, you have Hartford and Bridgeport.
Do they have a sociology department at Yale University? A psychology department? Who the fuck graduates from your school with a degree in sociology? I want to know who, if you got a degree in sociology.
They're doctors and lawyers, so they can practice patching everybody up.
But I'm saying, yo, does anybody have a degree in that out there? I don't want to see that on anyone's wall anytime soon. If it says like 2000 and beyond, and their degrees in sociology from Yale, I'm going to be like, I don't know what kind of fly-by-night professor you had, because y'all niggas never did nothing about everybody getting shot in the face in front of Toad's Place.
They have the highest, New Haven has the highest crime rate in Connecticut and is nowhere near the largest city. And that's, it's not good, so. Anyway, he'll be at Toad's regardless.
I'll be at Toad's Place.
And be tearing it down.
For everybody that lives in that area, don't shoot nobody that night. Come to the show. You know, I got confidence. There going to be lovely ladies in the house. There's going to be wild fun. I got my man Chino Excel is coming with me for the first time back on the East Coast, representing for all the Boricuas. Come see us. You know, the whole Rebel Army is going to be in effect. I'm going to see y'all motherfuckers there. Immortal Technique. The girl Crissy. We out of here.
Much respect. We got that exclusive. Make sure you guys stay tuned.